the first incident.
This is Nemechek going down into turn one. Oh, he gets tapped by Mike Bliss in the 40. Does a good job to save it right here.
27 of Daniel Quinn does a nice job to miss it. He keeps going, and then here's what happens next.
Oh man, Clint Boyer just nails Mike Wallace.
Well, these two had gotten into each other up ahead, and I think Wallace.
Yeah, he checked up. Just checking up.
So here comes Case.
Oh yeah. What happened was the 01 of Mike Wallace. He saw all of this. He checked up in Clint Boyer, and it's Bristol racing, folks. We're talking wide open in the gas
here. You see it. It happens. They're there. There's nothing they can do.
Yeah. And Mike Wallace just checked up for just a split second, and that's what he's supposed to do in that situation.
Watch Boyer.
Yep, just wrong place, wrong time. That's too bad because that 21 car was super fast.
And there's the damage on the front end of the Zaxby's 21. While we're under the caution, the 7 of Josh Wise will get the lucky dog. You can see the safety crews out picking up some of the debris. It will mean we'll have 23 cars back on the lead lap.
Pit road's still closed. That's why Clint Boyer hasn't come down yet.
And it'll be interesting to see if there are any other takers. What do you think, crew chief?
Well, I wouldn't pit if I was up front. Now there's going to be a lot of cars that are going to pit that are on back in the line and try to get a little better tires. And just like Rusty said, tires are worth something.
What about Rusty's observation, though, that like Elliott was falling back right at the end of that run?
Well, yeah, you got to want Elliott was just protecting that outside, but his car doesn't look like he's quite as good as he's going to need it to be if he's going to try to beat Brad Keselowski.
Jamie, what are you hearing on the 21?
Well, there's a lot of debate, but first and foremost, Clint said, man, that was a lot of fun. This is such a bummer. So they're trying to figure out if they need to bring him in and just look for clearance, maybe just leave the nose alone. They're trying to debate whether to take right sides only. Richard Childress himself just got on the radio and said, guys, take 2. Clint said, guys, we're leading the race. We're going to have time. Let's take 4. So let's see what happens here when the pits open.
It's Austin Dillon giving his 2 cents worth.
Clint thinks it's early in the race. He's thinking about tomorrow night's 500-lap race because they only have 89 to go here tonight.
Well, here he comes down pit road. There are several other takers, including Ricky Stenhouse. Shannon?
Ricky Stenhouse Jr. saying that the car is loose. This is the second start here at Bristol, guys. They're making a chassis adjustment and 4 tires for the 6th car of Ricky Stenhouse. Dave?
Reed Sorensen said the front needs to turn a little bit better. They're going to put about 3 seconds of Sunoco fuel in. That's what crew chief Trent Owens called for. That's all they need. They will take on 4 fresh tires. Jamie?
And Clint Boyer, the 21, was the race leader, brings it in. They're still looking at the nose. Do we need to fix it, guys? Just make sure you clear the fender so it doesn't rub on the tires. You see him banging out that front fender right there. They're going to do the same thing on the left side as well. Now they're saying, see, you pull him up on the top of the screen, you see him pulling that left side fender. Now let's see, they still haven't said if they're going to take 2 or 4. They put right sides on. They're going to work their way around. It is going to be a call for 4 tires. They're going to try to hang on and get back up there to the front, Marty, but he's going to have his work cut out for him.
And it still looks like they don't have enough clearance on that right front.
Yeah, I'm looking at it. The guy's still working right there on the backside. That's where it needed help, and I think that crew member just got that. Looks like they're going to be okay now. I was worried about they hadn't finished it. This right here, they're just going to try to get fixed as best they can.
Get off the radio, off the 4, let's go, don't lose a lap. All clear, all clear.
Ray, I tell you, the front end of that 21 is really damaged, but I remember many times here at Bristol, we look at these front ends and we're thinking there's no way these guys can compete. And one of the guys I remember is Earnhardt one night with no front end, flying around this racetrack. I mean, how important is aerodynamics here?
Well, Rusty, I agree with you. We talk about how important it is. I mean, that thing right there should not handle as good as we think it would with good fenders on it. The grill opening is there. They should be able to keep it cool. But I remember that night with Earnhardt because Jeff Gordon was on the radio saying, man, I'm pushing my fenders bent. And I said, hey, look in the mirror. The guy behind you's got no fenders and he's about to pass you.
Yeah, this is something to watch because, I mean, he does have a good look at left front corner, and that's the area that's very important on a car. But that nose above the right headlight is so high off the ground. You got to believe the car's going to push the front end real bad. But I've seen some crazy things.
Well, let's get more on all this from Tim Brewer over in the Craftsman Tech Garage.
I'm like Rusty. I've seen a lot of things. I've seen Earnhardt run around here with no front fenders on the car and lap the field. But the most critical area is this area right here. We work really hard trying to get the air damp down on the ground to achieve downforce. But the pocket back up here, that might help him as far as downforce. But the big gap right in this area, that's where he's going to have a problem. Stay tuned. It's going to be good.
It always is at Bristol. Thanks, Tim. All right, the top 7 stayed out on the track. Of those 7, 2 of them, Elliott Sadler and Carl Edwards, pitted on lap 86. The other 5 pitted 33 laps later. It's Brad Keselowski, Kyle Busch, Sadler, Edwards. That's your top 4. Then Leffler, Logano, Scott. Those are the 7 that stayed out. Then it's Trevor Bayne, Sorensen, and Earnhardt Jr. in 10th. Green flag's out, and we're racing again at Bristol. Hold on. Keselowski gets a great run coming off of 2, takes the lead. We did have 1 wave around. Shelby Howard, he's now 1 lap down. Clean air out front has helped. Here comes Trevor Bayne. Remember, he did stop side by side with Joey Logano. Just to let you know, Clint Boyer restarted 22nd. He's already picked up 1 spot. Bayne's got his hands full. He's like in the middle of that vice. Now it finally sorts out a little bit. That's Reed Sorensen right behind him. Underneath him is the 10 of Leffler.
And Jason Leffler trying to make that bottom side work and pick up another spot here from Trevor Bayne.
Riding with Dale Jr., he was a lap down at one point tonight, don't forget.
Side by side a little further forward. You saw the 33 going after it.
Yeah, Sadler was able to make that pass on Carl Edwards on the inside. We've seen some guys be able to do that, but the 33 has been mostly running that higher line.
Put him back up to 3rd, Carl 4th, and then here's this battle a little bit further back. Bayne, Leffler, and Sorensen 6th, 7th, and 8th.
Trevor Bayne in the 99, he was one of the leading cars that did make a pit stop that last caution.
Leffler's got a good car underneath him right now. He's trying to get around Sorensen, can't get it done. Meanwhile, let's move back up towards the front. You can see that Carl Edwards has got his mirrors full of Joey Logano. Here's this group still going after him just a few car lengths back.
Yeah, Jason Leffler's trying to be patient right here. He's got a good race car. He doesn't want to mess up, but he's having a hard time making the pass.
He's got to be careful, too, because this 32 is his teammate.
Both Braun racing machines, Carl Edwards and Joey Logano, they're going door handle to door handle.
Yeah, Carl looks like he's really struggling, especially right after these restarts. For about 12 or 15 laps, his car just doesn't get going very well.
Logano picks up the spot, move him to 4th, drop Edwards to 5th. Meanwhile, Leffler continues to try and work his way underneath the 99 and the 32.
I think if Jason Leffler can clear the 99 car right here, he'll go on up and start challenging Carl Edwards, but just having such a hard time where he's got that less banking down there. He just doesn't have that to lean on. Trying to get a run off the corner. You see him get a little bit loose and have to get out of the throttle. See right there, he picked up the throttle really well that time. A little contact between the 2 of them. This is when you start, as a driver, getting a little bit aggravated. I believe he's got him cleared now, though. Nice pass.
Finally does. So he picks up the spot, and he's starting to pull away from the 99, despite the fact he's shooting sparks out the back of the car. Let's move to the front of the pack. There is Brad Keselowski. His lead right now is 1 second over Kyle Busch. Elliott Sadler's 3rd. Joey Logano is 4th with 73 to go.
It's a beautiful night under the lights at Bristol Motor Speedway, NASCAR Nationwide Series Racing. Let's get caught up with what's happened so far with the 5-hour energy rapid recap. Casey Kane started 37th, and he was a big mover early, but we got a crash. We'll come back to it. Marty?
All right, thanks, Vince. That is a rough night for Justin Allgaier.
22 just got around us here. How about
his second incident of the evening. This one between turns 3 and 4.
Yeah, he got loose down trying to make a pass, and he's got a busted radiator now. I'm not sure he realizes that, but all the water's still down there off turn 4.
He was involved in our first incident with Casey Kane getting up on his side. And now The winner in March is probably in some serious trouble.
He was already in trouble. He was involved in that earlier incident with Casey Kane.